The second leg of the knockout phase playoffs in the Champions League has officially come to an end, and we now know which 8 teams will be making it to the round of 16. The final 8 games of the league phase brought unparalleled excitement, energy, and intensity, and they definitely lived up to the hype. Today we're going through all the matches from the second leg of playoff action to see who earned their spot in the next round and who failed to meet the standards that were required of them. The Champions League is about to enter its next phase, and it has been an incredible run so far. The first match of the day saw AC Milan and Feyenoord face off in a tie where the Dutch visitors had a 1-0 lead on aggregate. That lead was almost instantly wiped away as former Feyenoord player Santiago Jimenez scored the opening goal in the first minute of the match. The Italian side had a chokehold on the first half, putting up 11 total shots as the match went into halftime at 1-0 for Milan. Milan's second half would get off to an atrocious start as Hernandez was sent off after getting his second yellow card of the night in the 51st minute. Feyenoord started the second half on the front foot, and in the 73rd minute, Carranza's clinical header would bring the game level at 1-1. That would be the final action of this match as the game ended in a 1-1 draw with Feyenoord winning 2-1 on aggregate. The next match of the day would be the highly anticipated encounter between Atalanta and Club Brugge, with the Belgian side having a 2-1 lead on aggregate. It would take just 3 minutes for the visitors to increase their lead, with Talby's strike into the left corner giving Brugge a 1-0 lead early on. Talby would grab his brace in the 27th minute after his rebound strike found the back of the net, bringing Brugge's advantage to 2-0 in this match. The Belgian visitors would find their third goal in added time as Jutgla's beautiful strike from outside the box would give Brugge a commanding 3-0 lead going into the break. Atalanta came out of the break and immediately made an impact, with Lookman's clean finish in the 46th minute bringing the game to a 3-1 scoreline. Atalanta would give it their all until the very end, but this match would end as a 3-1 win for Club Brugge, which resulted in a 5-2 aggregate win for the Belgian side. The next match of the day would see Bayern go up against Celtic, with the German Giants holding a 2-1 lead on aggregate. Both sides were playing some solid football throughout the first half, with the two teams generating some big chances, but the match went into halftime stuck at 0-0. Celtic's first goal seemed inevitable after the restart, and in the 63rd minute, Nicholas Kuhn's strike found the back of the net, giving Celtic a crucial 1-0 lead. This match was seemingly headed to extra time, but with Alphonso Davies saving the day with just seconds to go with a goal of his own, the match would end as a 1-1 tie, with Bayern winning 3-2 on aggregate. The final match of the day would be the fiery clash between Benfica and Monaco, with the Portuguese side holding on to a 1-0 lead on aggregate. Some shambolic defending from Monaco would lead to Akhtar Koglu getting the opening goal for Benfica in the 21st minute, giving the hosts a 1-0 lead in this match. Monaco would respond with a goal of their own just 10 minutes later as Minamino's strike found the back of the net, bringing the game level at 1-1, which would last until halftime. The visiting side would grab the second goal in this match as Ben Seguir's calculated strike into the right corner would give Monaco a 2-1 lead in the 51st minute. Benfica's lifeline would come just 25 minutes later, with Pavlidis slotting home his penalty shot to bring the game level at 2-2 with just minutes to go. Monaco refused to give up in this match, and in the 81st minute, Eleni Kena's great run would be capped off by an even better finish, giving Monaco a 3-2 lead. Benfica would get one more goal back just 3 minutes later as Kokchu's gorgeous flick would bring the game level at 3-3 in a match that was keeping every fan on the edge of their seats. The match would end as a thrilling 3-3 draw, with Benfica taking a 4-3 win on aggregate. The first match of the second slate of games would see Borussia Dortmund face off against Sporting CP, with the German side holding a 3-0 lead on aggregate. The first half was relatively quiet, with the Portuguese visitors not putting up much of a fight as the match went into halftime stuck at 0-0. The second half saw Dortmund take control of this game, but with a missed penalty from Guirassy and a disallowed goal from Emre Can, the match would end as a 0-0 draw. The next match of the day would see the all-French matchup between PSG and Brest, with the Parisians holding a 3-0 lead on aggregate. It would take just 20 minutes for PSG to strike first, with Barclay's incredible control and finish in the box, which would lead to the game's first goal and a 1-0 lead for PSG. PSG's next goal would come in the 39th minute after a remarkable shot from a tight angle from Kvaratskhelia, which would give the Parisians a 2-0 lead before halftime. PSG's first goal of the second half would come in the 59th minute, with Vitinha's strike from outside the box finding the back of the net, giving PSG a commanding 3-0 lead. PSG couldn't stop scoring in this match as the Parisians would find 4 more goals from Doué, Mendes, Ramos, and Mayulu, bringing the game to its final 7-0 scoreline. The following match of the day would see PSV and Juventus face off in a tense game, with the Italian visitors holding a 2-1 lead on aggregate. There wasn't much to rave about in the first half, with PSV controlling possession but Juventus having more chances as the match went into halftime stuck at 0-0. PSV would be the first side on the board in the second half, with Perisic capping off a beautiful counterattack in the 53rd minute, giving PSV a 1-0 lead. Juventus would eventually get the equalizing goal in the 63rd minute after a blistering strike from Moya, and after a lengthy VAR review, the match was now level at 1-1. PSV would respond just 11 minutes later, with Saibari winning the scramble in the box and finding the back of the net in the 74th minute, giving PSV a 2-1 lead with 15 minutes to go. With the match ending 2-1 after 90 minutes, this would be the first and only match of the playoffs that would require extra time. PSV would be the first team to grab a goal in the extra frame, with Flamengo's rebound shot finding the back of the net in the 98th minute, giving PSV a crucial 3-1 lead. That would be the only goal of the extra frame, as PSV came away with a thrilling 3-1 win over Juventus. The final game of the day would be the marquee matchup between Real Madrid and Manchester City, with the Spanish side holding a 3-2 lead on aggregate. It took just 4 minutes for none other than Kylian Mbappe to score the opening goal, with his beautiful chip shot giving Madrid a 1-0 lead lead very early on. It wouldn't take long for Mbappe to grab his brace just 29 minutes later, and after some beautiful team play and a lethal finish, Madrid would go into halftime with a 2-0 lead over City. Mbappe would finish off his hat-trick in the 61st minute with an incredibly cool finish, giving Madrid an undeniable 3-0 lead. The English visitors would get 1 goal back from Gonzalez in stoppage time, as this match would end 3-1 for Madrid after some thrilling proceedings. After 2 incredible legs and 16 crazy matches, here are the results of the knockout phase playoffs. Benfica come away with a 4-3 aggregate win over Monaco and will now face either Barcelona or Liverpool in the round of 16. Club Brugge produced the shock of the tournament and come away with a 5-2 aggregate win over Atalanta and will now face either Aston Villa or Lille in the next round. Bayern come away with a narrow 3-2 aggregate win over Celtic and will come up against either Leverkusen or Atletico Madrid in the round of 16. Feyenoord produced a shock of their own as they beat AC Milan 2-1 on aggregate, and they will now face either Inter Milan or Arsenal in the next round. PSG's sheer dominance over Brest will lead to an unthinkable 10-0 win on aggregate, and the French side will now face either Barcelona or Liverpool in the round of 16. Borussia Dortmund's 0-0 stalemate against Sporting CP will lead to a 3-0 win on aggregate, and they will now face either Aston Villa or Lille in the next round. PSV pull off an incredible upset by beating Juventus 4-3 on aggregate, which means they will face either Inter or Arsenal in the next round. Real Madrid's excellent football over 2 legs sees them come away with a 6-3 win on aggregate, and they will now face either Atletico Madrid or Bayer Leverkusen in the round of 16. With the knockout phase playoffs all wrapped up, we are now just 2 weeks away from what will be a thrilling round of 16 in the Champions League. But what did you think of the second leg in the knockout phase playoffs in the Champions League? What are some of your craziest predictions for the round of 16, and who do you think has what it takes to make it to the final? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more football content, tier lists, and everything in between, and as always, I'll catch you next time.